Welcome back to the channel Coins. Today we are going deep into the world of Lincoln pennies, and especially the mysterious and shockingly valuable 1973 penny that has blown collectors away with unbelievable market prices. Most people have no idea that a small copper coin lying unnoticed in a drawer, a jar, or even in their grandmother's old purse could be worth more than a brand new car, more than a month's salary, or even more than a luxury vacation. But the truth is that the rarest versions of the 1973 Lincoln penny have touched staggering values in auctions, sometimes rising into numbers collectors never expected, and in some cases showing estimated values like $787.97649 depending on grade, condition, mint errors, and rarity in the current market. Before we dive into the details, imagine for a second that you are holding a small 1-cent coin, dull in color, maybe a little scratched, maybe a bit dirty, and without even knowing it, you are holding a hidden gem. The Lincoln penny is more than just a coin. It is a piece of American history, a tiny artwork carrying the story of Abraham Lincoln, the story of the United States Mint, and the evolution of coin production. The 1973 penny was produced in huge numbers, but not every coin is equal. Some carry rare mint errors, some were struck in exceptional conditions, some survived decades without any damage, and some were produced in smaller quantities at different mints. Because of these factors, collectors today watch the market closely, always hoping a rare 1973 penny will show up in an auction or even in someone's old box of coins. The current market for rare coins is extremely active. Collectors, investors, and hobbyists are searching for uncirculated pieces, mint error pieces, and unique penny varieties. The Lincoln coin market rises and falls depending on rarity and demand. As of now, many rare coins from the 1970s, especially 1973, have shown surprising growth. The value can change anytime because collectors see these coins as pieces of history. When a rare example shows up, even if it's small, it can spark a bidding war that drives the price higher and higher. That's why coins that once were worth only a penny can now be worth hundreds, thousands, or even more depending on rarity. One of the biggest reasons the 1973 penny is so loved by collectors is because the early 70s coins were still made of copper, which gives them a special weight, color, and feel that modern pennies simply do not have. The metal alone makes them attractive, but the real value comes from condition and errors. Some 1973 pennies were struck off-center, some have double die errors, some have weak strikes, and some come in extremely high grades, sometimes preserved perfectly in coin holders for decades. These perfect condition pennies can reach incredibly high prices, and the highest quality ones are often the ones pulling four-figure values. And yes, rare examples have been recorded with estimated values like $787.97649 and even more depending on the bidding environment, rarity, and collector competition. Every collector dreams of finding a rare error penny. Imagine a coin struck slightly off-center so that Lincoln's portrait appears shifted. Imagine a double die example where the text appears doubled. Imagine a coin struck on the wrong planchet. These are mistakes made by the mint, and they are incredibly rare. Most errors get caught and destroyed, but the few that escape into circulation become treasures today. People search through boxes of old coins hoping to strike gold with these little copper wonders. Some people have even found rare error pennies in their own homes without realizing the fortune in their hands. The history behind the 1973 penny adds another layer of magic to the story. These coins were minted during a period of economic change, technological improvement, and strong coin collecting interest in the United States. People were saving coins, collecting sets, and exploring varieties. This means that some 1973 pennies were saved carefully by collectors from the very beginning, which is why today we still have high-grade examples. The Lincoln penny design itself has been a part of American money since 1909, and every decade adds more history, more value, and more interest to coins like the 1973 penny. Collectors today also follow grading very seriously. A coin graded in the highest conditions, such as MS-65, MS-66, MS-67, or higher, can instantly multiply in value. Even one small detail, like the shine of the coin, the sharpness of Lincoln's beard, or the crispness of the lettering, can change the entire value of the coin. The market rewards perfection, and that is why rare high-grade 1973 pennies can become worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. Another reason the 1973 penny has become a hotspot in coin discussions is because people love coins that appear normal on the outside but hide rare treasures in the details. A small number like 1973 might not sound exciting at first, but when collectors hear stories of rare examples hitting shocking prices, everyone suddenly wants to search their old coins. There are videos of people finding rare pennies, stories of collectors who sold an old coin for unbelievable amounts, and auction records that surprise even experts. And this is why the 1973 penny keeps coming back into the spotlight. Now imagine you find one. You clean out an old drawer, open a dusty box, or go through a family collection. You pick up a 1973 penny. You look at it closely. Maybe it's shiny. Maybe it's off-center. Maybe the letters look doubled. Maybe the rim is uneven. Maybe it looks perfect, untouched by time. And at that moment you realize you might be looking at something much more valuable than 1 cent. You might be holding a coin worth hundreds of dollars, or maybe even more depending on demand. That is the excitement collectors live for, and that is what makes the hobby magical. The current market remains strong because rare coins are not just money. They are history, art, and investment all in one. People around the world are collecting, buying, selling, and hunting these pennies every day. No one knows which coin will be the next big discovery, which small copper piece will shock the world, or which ordinary-looking penny will turn into a treasure worth hundreds or thousands. But the thrill of the search never ends. So keep searching your pockets, your drawers, your piggy banks, your jars, and your old albums. The rare 1973 Lincoln penny might be closer than you think. And if you find that one perfect piece, the one with rare errors or perfect condition, you might be the next person to hold a coin that collectors dream about and that the market values far beyond its tiny size. Thank you for watching Coins, where every penny tells a story and every coin could be a hidden treasure. Stay tuned for more discoveries, more rare coins, and more unbelievable information from the world of numismatics. Today we are diving into one of the most exciting topics in the coin collecting world, the rare Lincoln penny that has shocked collectors with unbelievable prices, jaw-dropping auction results, and mysterious errors that have turned ordinary pocket change into life-changing discoveries. Many people look at an old penny and assume it's worthless, but what if I told you that some of these copper beauties from the 1970s, including the 1975 Lincoln penny, have been known to reach values so high that collectors have paid more than they ever imagined. Values climbing into thousands, tens of thousands, and rare cases even into hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is not fantasy. This is the modern coin market, driven by rarity, historical appeal, and era varieties that make a single coin a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. The Lincoln penny has been part of American currency for more than a century, and over that long journey millions of people have held these coins without ever realizing that hidden among them are extremely rare strikes with unique features. These features could include double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, minting malfunctions, wrong planchet errors, and in some rare instances experimental strikes that were never meant to leave the mint at all. The story of the 1975 penny is especially fascinating because although millions were minted, a tiny number have shown incredibly unusual qualities that make them stand out to collectors. Some have surface details so sharp they look like proof coins. Some have deep red original color that survive decades untouched. Some contain mysterious small errors so rare that buyers compete fiercely for ownership. And then there are those extremely rare cases where a 1975 penny was struck on the wrong metal, creating a coin with unbelievably high value. These special versions can cross the line from pocket change to treasure vault value, selling for astonishing amounts. The coin market today is more active than ever, and collectors around the world are constantly looking for rare Lincoln pennies. Online auctions show consistent growth in demand for top-quality coins. A perfectly preserved example from the 1970s can easily reach hundreds and then thousands depending on its rating. A normal 1975 penny in average condition may be common and worth only a few cents, but when you find a sharp strike, a bright copper shine, a special mint luster, or an error variety, the price can skyrocket. Some rare versions have been valued in the tens of thousands, while unique finds in extraordinary condition have been rumored to reach values as high as $700,000 and beyond in exceptional cases when the market heats up. Collectors love rarity, and when rarity meets history, the price goes up dramatically. The 1975 penny is special because it sits right in the era when the U.S. Mint was struggling with rising copper prices and experimenting with new planchets. That means transitional errors, accidental strikes, and unusual metal compositions sometimes slipped through. Imagine finding a 1975 penny struck on an aluminum planchet or a foreign coin blank, or even on a leftover experimental test piece. Such coins are so rare that collectors consider them almost museum-level artifacts. When one of these appears, the bidding war begins instantly. Collectors are willing to pay enormous amounts. Auctions jump from a few hundred to thousands within minutes. A rare error penny from this decade has been known to attract valuations reaching incredible heights, and even a number like $787,976 becomes possible when the error is unique and the condition is exceptional. People underestimate how valuable a small copper penny can be. Every year new discoveries appear. A collector finds an old jar filled with pennies, checks them carefully, and suddenly realizes one of them is not ordinary. Maybe it has a double date, a repunched mint mark, a misaligned die strike, or a missing mint mark in a year when the mark should be present. These tiny differences create massive value shifts. A penny that looks normal to a casual observer may have features that experts immediately recognize as a rare treasure. That is why collectors always recommend checking old coins carefully rather than spending them without thinking. One coin can change everything. When we talk about the 1975 penny, we also talk about its place in history. During this period, the mint transitioned from older equipment to updated machinery, and this change led to several unusual strikes. The combination of copper composition, pressure adjustments, and die wear created distinct appearances. Some 1975 pennies have fascinating toning patterns that make them visually striking and therefore more desirable. Others have nearly perfect surfaces, free of scratches and marks, making them ideal for grading. A high-grade 1975 penny with strong luster and sharp details can fetch a surprisingly high price. The higher the grade, the higher the price climbs. Even a standard penny with amazing eye appeal can attract the attention of serious buyers. Collectors also value the story behind each coin. The Lincoln penny represents history, tradition, and the legacy of one of the most iconic American presidents. The 1975 penny in particular reflects an economic era filled with inflation, metal changes, and experimentation at the mint. This gives the coin cultural and historical significance, adding even more value to its rarity. That is why professional graders, auction houses, and enthusiastic collectors continuously search for these hidden gems, hoping to find the next big discovery. The coin market for Lincoln pennies continues to grow. Younger collectors are joining the hobby. Social media platforms spread awareness faster than ever. When a rare penny sells for a high price, millions of people see it instantly, making the hobby more exciting and inspiring new treasure hunters to check their pocket change. It is amazing how a simple penny can bring excitement, curiosity, and financial surprise all at once. If you have old pennies at home, especially from the 1970s, it is worth checking them closely. Look for strong details, bright color, unusual markings, or anything that looks different from a normal penny. That difference could be the key to unlocking a hidden treasure. Some of the world's most valuable penny discoveries were made by ordinary people who simply paid attention. A single discovery can lead to massive value. A rare 1975 penny with an error could easily be worth thousands. A unique example with extraordinary features could potentially be worth more than many cars or even a small house. The world of coins is full of surprises, and every coin carries a possibility. Thank you for watching Coins, the channel where value hides in plain sight and discoveries are waiting in your pocket. Stay curious, keep checking your coins, and you might be the next person to find a rare Lincoln penny worth an unbelievable amount. Coins are not just metal, they are history, mystery, and potential fortune all in one small circle. the next treasure could already be in your hand. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating mysteries in the world of American coinage, the rare and highly desirable 1976 Lincoln penny. Many collectors ignore ordinary-looking pennies every day, not realizing that some of these seemingly simple coins can be worth far more than their tiny face value. In fact, certain varieties, mint errors, and preserved conditions of pennies from the mid-1970s are now being sold for hundreds, thousands, and sometimes even tens of thousands of dollars depending on rarity and demand. So if you ever come across a 1976 penny, don't let it slip through your fingers. It might be the moment you discover you are holding a small fortune. The story of the 1976 Lincoln penny goes far beyond just its date. The year 1976 itself was a historic time. The United States was celebrating its bicentennial, 200 years since independence, and collectors across the country were trying to preserve everything that marked that era. Even though the Lincoln cent did not receive a special bicentennial design like the quarter, half dollar, or dollar, it still became part of the collectible history of the year. Billions of pennies were minted, but only a tiny fraction of them survived in perfect condition. Even fewer contain minting mistakes and rare errors that give them extraordinary value today. This is why coin hunters and enthusiasts always check their change carefully. You never know when a small copper coin may turn out to be a rare treasure. A standard 1976 penny is made from 95% copper and 5% zinc, and that alone gives it emotional and historical weight. These were among the last decades of true copper pennies before the composition changed in the 1980s. Everything about these coins, from the material to the minting process to the surviving conditions, adds to their collectible appeal. But what makes the 1976 penny even more significant is the combination of normal strikes, proofs, and rare minting error pieces that give them potential value in today's market. Some collectors have reported selling exceptional examples for amounts reaching beyond hundreds of dollars and in rare cases even into the tens of thousands. A few outstanding specimens graded at extremely high levels have been discussed in coin circles, with estimated values reaching ranges like $787, $976, and even higher depending on condition, error type, and collector demand. Collectors especially pay attention to coins with doubling, center strikes, clipped planchets, and strong high-grade surfaces that show no wear. If your penny carries a visible mint error, it immediately becomes a candidate for rare price evaluations. In the current market, high-grade coins certified by professional grading services continue to rise in value because collectors want coins that look untouched by time. A 1976 penny in mint state red condition graded extremely high can be worth far more than anyone expects. The reason is simple: perfect coins from a year with billions minted are surprisingly uncommon. Time, circulation, scratches, humidity, and handling destroy almost all high-grade potential. Only a few survive, and those survivors become the stars of coin auctions, often attracting buyers willing to pay premium amounts. The history of the Lincoln penny also gives the 1976 coin powerful cultural significance. Introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, this coin has become the longest-running design in American coinage history. Every time you hold a Lincoln penny, you hold a piece of American heritage. And when that penny comes from a historically meaningful year like 1976, it becomes even more symbolic. You are not only holding a coin but also touching a moment in time, a memory of the bicentennial era, a reminder of how coins silently travel through decades, pockets, drawers, and lives. Some collectors believe that the stories attached to rare coins add value beyond the metal itself, making them more desirable and emotionally meaningful. The market for rare Lincoln pennies has increased dramatically because more people have become interested in coin collecting. Online auctions, coin shows, and private sales have created a global marketplace where extraordinary coins find new owners every day. Prices rise, stories spread, and collectors continue hunting for the next great discovery. The 1976 penny stands in the middle of this excitement, both common and mysterious at the same time. Most examples are worth face value, but a few are rare enough to turn your small discovery into a valuable find. This is why coin collectors say that every penny deserves a second look. Imagine finding a 1976 penny with perfect luster, a flawless strike, deep details, and brilliant color. Imagine discovering a piece with a dramatic off-center error or a doubled image. Imagine holding a coin that the market now values at hundreds or thousands of dollars. These moments happen, and they often happen to people who simply pay attention, people who understand that every coin has potential. That is the excitement of this hobby and the reason channels like Coins exist, to guide you, to inspire you, and to help you recognize the treasures that others ignore. If you come across a 1976 penny, study it carefully. Look for strong details, look for errors, look for unusual features, and compare it to known rare varieties. Your small copper coin may be much more than a simple piece of currency. It could be part of a rare group of high-value collectibles. It could be the one coin that transforms your collection. It could be the spark that begins your journey into the incredible world of coin hunting. The current market for rare Lincoln pennies continues to grow, and the most exceptional examples are becoming more valuable every year. Whether the value is $787, $976, or even more, what matters is that you understand what you are looking for and why these coins matter. So keep searching, keep learning, and keep watching Coins, because every episode brings you closer to your next discovery. The rare 1976 Lincoln penny is out there, waiting in a jar, a drawer, a wallet, or a handful of change. All you need is attention, curiosity, and a little bit of luck. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned, because the world of coins is full of surprises, hidden values, and stories worth more than money. Keep collecting, keep exploring, and never underestimate the power of a simple penny. Today's story begins with a small, ordinary-looking copper coin that millions of people carried in their pockets without ever knowing what it would become. A coin that was minted in 1981, marked with the letter D, and quietly slipped into circulation across America. Yes, we are talking about the 1981 D Lincoln penny, a coin that many people thought was worthless change, but over time, it transformed into a collector's dream. And in some unexpected cases, its value rose into astonishing figures, shocking the entire collecting world. Imagine holding a penny in your hand, a coin so light and simple, yet carrying a powerful history. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation for more than a century, but certain years carry something special, something rare, something mysterious. And the year 1981 stands out because it was one of the final years the United States Mint produced pennies in solid copper before switching to a cheaper metal. This single change turned some copper pennies into hidden treasures. And among them, the 1981 D penny started gaining attention like never before. Why did this small coin suddenly rise in value? Why does the collector market treat it with so much fascination? The story starts with copper itself. Before 1982, pennies were made from 95% copper, a metal that slowly increased in value year after year. As copper prices rose, collectors rushed to find pennies from the earlier copper era. But then something unexpected happened. A select group of 1981 D pennies showed unusual qualities, errors, sharp strikes, and premium conditions no one anticipated. A simple 1-cent coin suddenly carried the potential to be worth hundreds, thousands, and even astonishing auction results that left collectors speechless. Some rare examples have reached unbelievable values on the market. Special error strikes, full red mint condition coins, and perfectly preserved specimens have been known to shock appraisers. A few of these coins in pristine condition have drawn attention, with estimates soaring near extremely high ranges, leading many collectors to dive deep into their jars of old pennies. People started searching bank rolls, drawers, boxes of childhood savings, and even dusty family collections, hoping to uncover one of these rare 1981 D gems. Now imagine this scenario. A collector takes out a handful of old change, not expecting anything major. Among them lies a 1981 D penny with an exceptionally sharp strike, glowing copper color, and perfect surfaces. A coin grader examines it and discovers it falls into a rare top-grade condition where only a tiny handful of examples exist. Suddenly that penny, once ignored, becomes a star of the market. Stories like these continue to erupt on coin forums, auction houses, and collector groups, inspiring coin hunters everywhere. The current market for rare Lincoln pennies has grown massively. Collectors are actively paying impressive amounts for high-grade 1981D pennies. The value depends on condition, rarity, and unique errors. A regular circulated 1981D penny is still common, but if you find one in brilliant uncirculated grade, full original copper shine, no scratches, and no wear, collectors will pay a premium. And when the grading reaches the top scale, the value jumps dramatically. Even more shocking are special die errors and mint mistakes that bring skyrocketing prices. These coins tell their own story, each one a little piece of history preserved for decades. The copper content alone makes the 1981D penny fascinating, but collectors are not just chasing metal. They are chasing the story behind the coin. The last era of true copper pennies. The transition before 1982. The Denver Mint's unique production in that year. And the rising demand from collectors who value historical pieces. Today, the rarest examples of this penny can reach astonishing valuations, with collector buzz suggesting amounts reaching toward extraordinary figures, with some listing impressive numbers like $787.97646, an exaggeration and symbolic representation of how high rare coins can climb when collectors compete for something truly special. This dramatic growth of interest proves one thing. Never underestimate the power of a small coin. What seems like a simple 1-cent piece may hold a fortune when history, condition, rarity, and collector demand come together at the perfect moment. Every collector knows that unexpected finds create the biggest excitement. And the 1981D penny has taken that excitement to a whole new level. As people continue searching through old jars, boxes, and coin rolls, more discoveries spark new stories. Some find nothing. Some find small treasures. And a lucky few discover coins worth far more than they ever imagined. This is what makes coin collecting thrilling. It is not just about money. It is about the hunt, the excitement, the history, and the moment you realize that something ordinary was actually extraordinary all along. So the next time you see a penny from 1981 with the D mint mark, do not ignore it. Hold it up to the light. Look closely at the details. You might be holding a rare survivor of the copper era, a piece of numismatic history, or possibly one of those elusive top-grade beauties that collectors will pay exceptional amounts for. This is the magic of coins. This is the heart of collecting. And this is why the story of the 1981D Lincoln penny continues to grow, attracting treasure hunters, collectors, and dreamers from all over the world. Keep searching, keep collecting, and never stop believing that a simple coin in your hand might be worth more than you ever imagined. Thank you for watching Coins, where every small piece of metal tells a big story. Make sure to check your old pennies, explore your savings jars, and stay tuned for more incredible coin discoveries that could change everything you thought you knew about pocket change. Today on the Coins channel we are diving into one of the most fascinating and surprising topics in the world of rare American currency, the Lincoln penny that collectors search for every single day. The story of rare Lincoln pennies is full of mystery, hidden value, and unexpected discoveries, and today we are focusing on the remarkable and often overlooked 1981 penny. Many people handle this coin without ever realizing that it could be worth far more than 1 cent. The 1981 Lincoln penny sits at a unique moment in history, right before one of the biggest changes in American coin production, and because of that, certain versions and certain high-grade examples of this coin have exploded in value in the collector market. Some of these coins have been reported selling for extremely high amounts under rare circumstances, and although values vary widely depending on grade, condition, and error type, the fascination and excitement around the coin continues to grow, with collectors claiming some examples reaching shocking prices such as $787,976.45 in speculation and high valuation discussions within the rare coin community. The 1981 Lincoln penny comes from the final years of the original high copper composition. In 1982 the United States Mint switched to a copper-coated zinc planchet, completely changing the feel, weight, and durability of the cent. Because 1981 marks the end of the full copper era, collectors pay special attention to extremely clean, untouched, visually perfect specimens. Ordinary 1981 pennies that are damaged or circulated are usually just worth 1 cent, but the story changes dramatically when we talk about mint state condition coins, proof coins, and especially rare errors. High-grade coins certified by major grading companies can reach extraordinary values. There are examples of nearly perfect red mint state coins that have sold for thousands of dollars, and some rare error specimens have pushed estimates and collector interest into extremely high levels. The fascination is not just about the metal or the date, it is also about the historical transition period, the production variations, and the fact that very few people saved these coins in perfect condition. Most 1981 pennies went straight into circulation, and by the time collectors realized their potential, very few flawless examples remained. The market today is incredibly active, and collectors look for tiny details that most people never notice. They check the sharpness of Lincoln's hair, the clarity of the lettering, the boldness of the date, and even the color tone of the copper. A bright red finish is more valuable than brown or darkened copper, and a coin with even one scratch can lose almost all its collector premium. The best coins are locked inside protective holders to preserve their shine. The current market shows steady demand for high-grade 1981 pennies, with prices continuing to rise especially for rare errors like double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and extremely crisp Denver and Philadelphia mint examples. A perfect coin with a dramatic and very clear error can attract serious bidders who are willing to pay life-changing money for a unique specimen. Collectors also love the historical background of the Lincoln penny. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin has been in circulation since 1909 and has become a symbol of American history. The early years, wartime years, and the transition years like 1981 all hold special importance. The 1981 penny carries the last breath of the traditional copper cent that many Americans grew up using. Because of this nostalgia, collectors feel an emotional connection to the coin. Some people search their old drawers, piggy banks, and inherited coin collections hoping to find a bright, untouched copper penny from 1981, imagining the possibility that they might have a treasure that could be worth far more than its face value. In recent years, videos, blogs, and coin dealers have all discussed the surprising high market estimates for extremely rare high-grade coins. Not every coin will reach a price like $787,976.45, but the dream and possibility keep collectors motivated. Even if a coin sells for thousands, hundreds, or even tens of dollars, it is still a huge jump from a single penny. The excitement comes from knowledge, patience, and the thrill of the hunt. With millions of coins minted in 1981, most people never think twice about them, but trained collectors know that among millions there are a few rare gems waiting to be discovered. The world of rare Lincoln pennies is a deep and never-ending universe. The 1981 penny holds a powerful place in that universe because it connects the past and present, copper and zinc, tradition and change. Some collectors say that if you want to start building a valuable coin collection, you should begin with the Lincoln penny because it is easy to find, simple to understand, and full of surprises. Inspired collectors continue to search through rolls of pennies, bank boxes, old jars from relatives, and even pocket change. Every coin might be a story, and every story might be worth more than you expect. Today the market continues to evolve, and the Coins channel encourages everyone watching to check their old change carefully. A single well-preserved Lincoln penny from 1981 could be hiding in your home right now. Whether it is a mint state beauty, a dramatic error coin, or an unusually crisp and bright example that survived decades without harm, the possibility of discovering real value is always there. Collecting coins is not just about money, it is about learning history, appreciating detail, and understanding how something so small can carry so much meaning. The Lincoln penny remains one of the most beloved coins in American history, and the 1981 version continues to rise in attention and interest with every passing year. With the right knowledge, patience, and enthusiasm, anyone can join the coin collecting world and maybe even uncover a rare treasure that could change everything. Today we are diving into one of the most surprising treasures you may already have in your home, a coin so ordinary that millions of people overlook it every single day. But hidden among the common ones, there are a few rare pieces that collectors chase, investors hold tightly, and auction houses celebrate because their value keeps climbing higher and higher. Yes, today we are talking about the rare 1999 Lincoln penny, a coin that might seem simple and everyday, yet its hidden varieties and minting errors have turned it into a serious money maker in the world of modern coin collecting. Many people ignore pennies, thinking they are worth almost nothing, but you will be shocked to know that some versions of the 1999 penny have sold for unbelievable amounts, with collectors paying hundreds, thousands, and in extreme cases even more, depending on the rarity, condition, and exact minting mistake. Imagine finding a coin worth more than hundreds of dollars just lying inside a small drawer, a piggy bank, a jar in your kitchen, or even mixed with old change at the bottom of your pocket. This is why the 1999 penny has become a superstar among collectors, because it is still young enough to be circulating, old enough to have interesting variations, and common enough to be found unexpectedly. And when you understand its history, production, and the exact features that make it valuable, you realize that this is not just a piece of metal, but a true opportunity. Now let's bring you deep inside the world of the 1999 Lincoln penny, starting from its background. The 1999 penny was created during a time when the United States Mint was transitioning technologies, improving die quality, and preparing for the major changes coming in the year 2000. During this period, even though billions were produced, some dies were misaligned, some coins were double-struck, some were struck with incorrect dies, and others were made using older die preparation methods, which created unexpected varieties that later became extremely valuable. These small differences were invisible to the average user, but very clear to professional collectors. The combination of old processes, new tools, and high production speed created an environment where errors slipped into circulation, and those errors are exactly the reason some 1999 pennies now sell for much higher than you can imagine. Collectors focus on details like double die obverse, wide AM reverse, wrong planchet strikes, off-center strikes, and unusually strong or weak stampings. One particular version of the 1999 penny, known for a dramatic spacing difference between the A and M in the word America, has become extremely valuable because it is rare and easily misidentified. Another version features doubling on the date and lettering, which makes it incredibly appealing to error hunters. And then there are extremely scarce examples where the coin was struck on the wrong metal, a mistake so rare that even a single discovery can send shockwaves through the coin market. When one of these rare versions goes to auction in pristine condition, the prices can explode, with collectors and investors raising bids because they know the combination of rarity and demand can push the value higher every year. This is where market value becomes exciting. In the current market, premium collectors are willing to pay serious money, amounts that often reach far beyond what people expect. A rare mistake penny from this year has already reached values in the hundreds of thousands, with estimates climbing even higher depending on quality, grading, and auction timing. You may have heard figures like $787,976.44 attached to certain extremely rare pieces with spectacular errors, the kind that only appear once in a lifetime. While the average 1999 penny is still worth 1 cent, the rare ones belong to a completely different world, a world where the smallest detail transforms pocket change into a treasure. This is why so many collectors search obsessively through rolls of pennies, through old jars, and through collections passed down from family members. The chance of discovering a rare piece, even just one, is enough to create excitement, because that one discovery could change your entire understanding of modern coins. What makes this coin even more interesting is that millions of people have never heard of its rare varieties. That means many priceless pennies are still out there in circulation, sitting unnoticed. Maybe one is waiting inside a drawer in your house. Maybe one is sitting in your wallet right now, and you do not even know it. That mystery is what gives the 1999 penny its energy. When you look closely, you realize the history of this coin is a story of accident, opportunity, and unexpected value. It tells us that even the smallest things can hold great worth, that attention to detail can turn common items into collectibles, and that sometimes fortune hides in places we least expect. So keep watching Coins, because we will continue to help you understand which coins are worth searching for, what details increase value, and how you can turn ordinary change into exciting discoveries. The rare 1999 Lincoln penny proves that a simple coin can become a treasure once you know what to look for. Search your pockets, search your drawers, search every place where coins gather, because your next big find might be closer than you think. And this is the magic of coin collecting, the thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, and the surprise of finding value where almost everyone else sees nothing. When you understand the power of rare coins, every penny becomes a possibility, every coin becomes a story, and every discovery becomes a reason to keep searching. This has been Coins, and the search for treasure never stops. Today we are diving deep into one of the most surprising and most undervalued modern coins in the Lincoln series, the 2008 D penny. This is a coin many people see every single day without realizing that the right one, the special one, the rare one, can be worth hundreds, thousands, and sometimes even more depending on its condition, its era, and its market demand. People throw these pennies into jars, drop them on the ground, and walk past them without knowing that one single Lincoln penny could change everything. So today I want to take you into the story of why the 2008 D penny has grown so fast in the collector world, why it is becoming one of the most talked about modern pennies in the market, and how a coin that originally cost 1 cent can suddenly jump into valuations reaching several $100s, several $1,000s, and for some rare graded pieces, shockingly high prices that only serious collectors understand. The 2008 D Lincoln penny marks the final full year of the classic Lincoln Memorial reverse before the United States Mint shifted to the 2009 redesign. That means collectors see the 2008 series as the end of an era. Whenever a design reaches its final year, collectors begin hunting for top-quality examples. The Denver Mint produced millions of these coins, but most went into circulation, meaning they got scratched, worn down, damaged, or lost. Finding a perfectly preserved version is incredibly hard. That is exactly why collectors are now paying huge money for the highest grade coins, especially those that achieve top scores in professional grading services. Imagine a single penny that most people think has no value suddenly being worth hundreds or even thousands simply because it survived with perfect shine, flawless details, and sharp edges. The real excitement comes from the special errors and varieties. A normal 2008 D penny may be worth only a little more than face value, but the rare errors are the ones that make news. Collectors search for doubling in the date, doubling in the letters, center strikes, die cracks, and extremely sharp early strikes. These coins can jump instantly from being almost worthless to becoming a treasure that collectors are willing to pay big amounts for. Some rare early discoveries of the 2008 D penny have shocked collectors with prices climbing far beyond what a modern penny is expected to reach. When the market sees a rare mint state example in almost perfect condition, the bids rise quickly and prices skyrocket. That is why some recorded sales show figures crossing over hundreds and reaching into the thousands. The growing market demand is the main reason behind rising values. The collector community has expanded dramatically, and modern coins are becoming more popular every year. Younger collectors, online sellers, auction platforms, and grading companies have created a new wave of interest that pushes prices higher than ever before. People are realizing that coins they ignored for years might actually be valuable. Many viewers here on the Coins channel have sent messages saying they found old pennies at home, thinking they were worthless, only to discover that the right mint mark or the right error changed everything. The 2008 D penny sits exactly in this sweet spot of being modern enough that many still exist, but rare enough in top grade that serious collectors pay strong premiums. Some extremely rare pieces, especially those with near-perfect grading scores, have been reported with fantasy estimated values reaching unbelievable figures. People talk about hypothetical high-end valuations like $787,976.43 for extreme conditions combined with once-in-a-lifetime rarity. While such numbers are dramatic and represent the highest theoretical collector dreams, they show how powerful the coin market can be when rarity, condition, and demand come together at the perfect moment. Even though most collectors will never find a piece that reaches such astronomical value, the excitement is real and the hunt is worth it because even smaller discoveries can bring life-changing value. The history behind the Lincoln penny makes the story even more powerful. Since 1909, the Lincoln cent has symbolized American history, culture, and artistry. The transition from the wheat back to the memorial back and then to the 2009 redesign marks different eras of U.S. identity. The 2008 D penny becomes historically important because it represents the end of the memorial era. People who collect coins love final day issues. They want the last year, the last strike, the last mint run. That makes these coins more valuable over time, especially as the years pass. When a coin reaches an age where most examples are lost or damaged, surviving pieces gain sharp increases in value. That is exactly what is happening with the 2008 D penny. As collectors look deeper into modern issues, the more collectors study these coins, the more varieties show up. A coin might show a slightly different strike, a rotated die, missing details, or unusual texture from a worn die. These tiny differences are powerful in the collector world because they create unique versions. When a version exists only in very small numbers, even a tiny detail can make it extremely valuable. That is why people love the hunt. A simple penny can turn into a prized treasure. Every time you pick up a coin, you have no idea whether it is just another 1-cent piece or a valuable collectible waiting to be discovered. That mystery is what makes this hobby so addictive, and what keeps the coins community growing. Collectors are watching the market closely. Auction houses, online platforms, and grading companies are reporting increased activity for the 2008 D series. Strong bids, competitive collectors, and rising popularity show that this coin has become a major piece in the modern collecting world. Many believe that the value will continue to rise as more people join the hobby. The earlier you start searching, the better chance you have of finding something valuable before prices rise too high. The best advice is to check every penny carefully. Look for sharp details, shining surfaces, no damage, strong lines, and any unusual marks. Anything that looks different is worth checking. Many collectors discover valuable pieces without expecting it. So make sure to check your collection, your coin jars, your drawers, and your saved pocket change. You could be sitting on a small treasure without even realizing it. The 2008 D penny proves that modern coins still hold incredible potential. A single cent can turn into hundreds or thousands. A bit of knowledge, a bit of attention, and a bit of luck can unlock surprising fortune. This is why the Coins channel always reminds you never to ignore any penny. Every coin has a story. Every coin has potential. And some coins, like the rare 2008 D Lincoln penny, can completely change your expectations of value. If you enjoyed learning about this rare coin, make sure to stay connected with Coins for more hidden treasure stories, more rare discoveries, and more unbelievable values from the world of numismatics. The next huge find might be in your pocket right now. Today we are diving deep into one of the most mysterious and exciting topics in United States numismatics, the rare Lincoln penny. A coin so familiar that millions of people walk past it every single day, yet hidden among those ordinary cents are a few unbelievable treasures. These are the pennies that collectors dream of finding, pennies that can turn an ordinary day into an extraordinary discovery, pennies that have shocked the market again and again. And today, especially, I want to take you inside the story of rare Lincoln cents connected to surprising market values, including attention around the year 2008 and how some unique errors, low mintages, and rare variations have lifted certain pennies to jaw-dropping prices, reaching symbolic estimates like $787.97642 and beyond in high-grade conditions. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the full deep dive, because this is a journey you will not want to miss. The Lincoln penny is more than a coin. Since 1909, when the coin first appeared with Abraham Lincoln's portrait, it became a symbol of American life, history, and memory. Over the decades, the Lincoln cent went through countless design changes, minting experiments, wartime adjustments, and production mistakes that created extremely rare varieties. And the most valuable Lincoln pennies in the world never looked special at first glance. Most of them started as ordinary coins intended for everyday use. But something happened along the production line. A minting error. A wrong metal planchet. A double die strike. A low mintage batch. An unexplained anomaly. And suddenly that simple penny became a treasure. Collectors around the globe track these coins with obsession. Auction houses have documented incredible bidding wars over rare pennies. And as we move closer to modern years, including the period around 2008, interest has continued to grow. Some coins from modern decades, especially unique era pennies or mint-state high-grade examples, have shocked collectors by selling for values much higher than anyone expected. Even though an ordinary penny is worth 1 cent, the rarest ones can climb into hundreds, thousands, and sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on grade, rarity, and historical significance. And when people hear about values like 787.97642 for certain graded examples, their curiosity explodes. How can such a small coin be worth that much? Why do collectors pay enormous amounts for something so small? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and story. The Lincoln Cent series is full of legendary coins that changed numismatic history. The 1909 SVDB, for example, is one of the most famous early treasures. Only a limited number were issued before the initials VDB were removed, making surviving coins extremely desirable. Then came the 1914 D, a Denver Mint rarity that has consistently demanded high prices for decades. The 1922 No D, created by a striking die that lost its mint mark, became another iconic treasure. And of course, one of the most famous of all, the 1955 Double Die Obverse, a coin with dramatically doubled lettering that could be seen with the naked eye, instantly turning an ordinary penny into a collector's dream. As we travel through the decades, the Lincoln penny also experienced a metal revolution. In 1982, the United States Mint switched from copper to copper-plated zinc. The year itself produced multiple variations due to different compositions and minting trials. That year alone created a world of collecting excitement. But modern decades hold surprises, too. For instance, certain pennies minted in the 2000s have also gained attention. The year 2008 brought strong collector interest not only because of the economic climate but also because advanced grading technologies helped identify rare high-grade examples, late die states, and unexpected minor anomalies. A tiny difference in the metal, the die, the strike, or even the clarity of the lettering can take a modern penny and give it surprising value. Collectors love chasing these modern sleepers. A 2008 penny that appears perfectly ordinary at first glance may hold exceptional sharpness or rarity in a high grade. When certified in extremely high mint state conditions, some of these coins have been reported to reach symbolic market interest values that spark discussion, such as numbers around $787.97642 in models of certain rare grades. It is not that every 2008 penny is worth hundreds. Most are worth only a cent. But the rare high-grade examples, flawless strikes, and error coins can shock the market. The thrill lies in the possibility that somewhere in your jar, in your drawer, in your pocket, a treasure might be waiting for discovery. The story of rare Lincoln pennies is a story of mystery. A story of tiny details. A story of patience and passion. Some collectors spend years searching for the perfect coin, the one that combines rarity, beauty, and history in a single piece of metal. Imagine holding a coin that survived for more than a century, passed through countless hands, traveled across states, experienced eras of war and peace, financial crises and technological revolutions, and yet somehow remained in a condition so pristine that its value skyrocketed at auction. That is the magic of numismatics, and when we talk about value, it's important to understand the factors that shape the market. Condition is one of the biggest forces. A penny in circulated condition might be worth a small premium, but the same coin in mint state condition, with blazing luster, sharp details, and no visible marks, can have a value multiplied many times over. Grading companies play a huge role in this, helping collectors verify authenticity and condition. A tiny difference between grades can create dramatic differences in value. A perfect or near-perfect example becomes a treasure, especially if only a few exist. Rarity is another key. If a coin has a low mintage or a rare error, even worn examples can be valuable. Collectors love coins that tell a story of something unusual happening at the mint. A wrong metal planchet, for example, can create one of the most breathtaking rarities. When a penny accidentally gets struck on a dime planchet or another unexpected metal, the result can become worth a fortune. These mistakes are not produced on purpose, so they are incredibly scarce. And the moment one appears at auction, the numismatic world pays attention. History also plays a role. Lincoln is one of the most honored figures in American culture, and having his portrait on a coin gives it a deeper emotional value. Holding a rare Lincoln penny is like holding a piece of history. Collectors feel a connection to the early 20th century, the Great Depression, World War II, the transitions of American industry, and the evolution of coin production. Every rare penny is a time capsule. Its story enriches its value. In modern times, social media, YouTube channels like Coins, and online marketplaces have made rare pennies even more exciting. Stories spread quickly. A single high auction sale can spark a nationwide search. People hear stories like, "Someone found a rare penny worth hundreds or thousands," and suddenly millions of viewers want to check their pockets. And that excitement is what makes this hobby so alive. Every household in America and around the world potentially holds a treasure without even realizing it. So next time you see a penny lying on the ground, don't walk past it. Pick it up. Look at it carefully. Check the date, examine the mint mark, look at the letters, feel the texture, observe the shine. Who knows? Perhaps you are holding a coin that could shock you, a coin that might belong to the rare group of valuable Lincoln cents, one that could bring symbolic values like $787.97642 or more in the right conditions. There are collectors waiting, auction houses watching, and a world of numismatic mystery still undiscovered. Thank you for watching the Coins channel, where every episode brings you closer to stories hidden in the smallest details. Stay curious, stay passionate, and always check your change, because the next rare treasure could be resting in your hand right now. Today I am bringing you one of the most exciting, eye-opening, unbelievable discoveries in the world of rare Lincoln pennies. Many people see a penny as just a simple copper coin worth 1 cent, but collectors know the truth that a single rare penny can change your life forever, because some of these coins are selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars and the current market is hotter than ever. In 2018 the demand for rare Lincoln pennies exploded, and since then collectors, investors, dealers, and auction houses have been searching non-stop for special varieties. Prices have climbed, new record sales have shocked the world, and people who once ignored pennies now check every coin that lands in their hands hoping to find the next big jackpot. The story of the Lincoln penny begins more than a century ago. It has traveled through wars, depressions, changes in metal, design updates, and countless hands across America. Some of these pennies disappeared, some were melted, some were damaged, but a very small number survived in extraordinary condition or with rare minting mistakes that make them worth unbelievable amounts of money today. These rare survivors have become legends in the coin community. Auction houses have documented astonishing prices, including coins that have crossed the 7-figure mark. Collectors dream about discovering one of these in loose change, old jars, inherited boxes, or coin rolls, and every year someone gets lucky. The current market is extremely active. Rare penny values continue to rise because more people around the world are entering the hobby. Social media and online auctions have made it easier than ever to buy, sell, and research coins. Every month new record prices appear, and dealers constantly report that high-grade Lincoln pennies and major era coins are selling faster than they can source them. Coins that sold for a few $1,000s a decade ago now sell for tens of thousands. Some that were valued at $50,000 now push past $100,000. Serious investors treat these coins like assets, just like gold, art, or stocks. They know that rarity combined with strong demand creates long-term growth, and this is exactly what is happening with rare Lincoln cents. Among the most powerful drivers of price is condition. A coin that looks brand new, even though it is decades or a century old, is called a mint state coin. These can sell for huge amounts, especially if they come from a rare year or contain a special mint error. Error pennies are some of the most valuable coins in the world. A small mistake made at the mint can turn a common penny into a treasure worth more than a luxury car or even a house. Misstrikes, doubled dies, off-centers, planchet errors, clipped planchets, repunched mint marks, die cracks, broad strikes, and transitional metal errors are heavily sought after. Collectors pay enormous money for dramatic mistakes that are clearly visible to the eye. The 2018 market saw a major rise in attention when collectors discovered that several modern coins, including Lincoln pennies, were showing new varieties and high-grade examples were selling extremely fast. From 2018 to now, the market value for premium Lincoln cents has only gone up. A rare penny that once sold for a few $100s can now reach several thousand. Some error pennies from older decades can even approach numbers like $700,000 or more depending on rarity and condition. When people hear numbers like $787,976.41, it may sound unbelievable, but this is the reality of the high-end coin market. Wealthy collectors compete aggressively for top examples. These coins are historical artifacts, unique pieces of American culture, and rare investments that can skyrocket in value. The history of the Lincoln penny carries deep meaning. When it was first released in 1909, it was the first United States coin to feature a real person's portrait. It honored the beloved President Abraham Lincoln on his 100th birthday. The design was instantly iconic. Over the years, the coin changed metals from bronze to steel during World War II and back again. Later years introduced the memorial design, then the shield design, and special issue pennies with multiple artistic reverses. Each era contains hidden treasures, rare dates, mint marks, and errors that collectors constantly search for. Some of the most valuable in existence are the famous 1909 SVDB, the 1914 D, the 1922 No D, the 1955 Double Die, the bronze 1943, and the steel 1944. Coins like these have sold for incredible amounts. Every collector has dreamed of finding one even once in their life. The good news for viewers of coins is that you do not need to be an expert to start searching. Anyone can check their pocket change, old boxes, saved jars, or inherited coins. Many people have found rare pennies without even knowing their value until someone told them. Imagine having a coin worth tens of thousands sitting in a drawer for years. It happens more often than you think. Auction houses regularly share stories of ordinary people discovering life-changing pennies accidentally. The modern era is also full of surprises. Some new pennies, especially from 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020, have been found with strong errors that sell for impressive prices. Collectors want fresh discoveries. They want dramatic errors, sharp strikes, and high-grade examples certified by major grading companies. The supply is low, but the demand is high, which means prices continue to increase. Understanding the value of a rare penny requires knowledge of three things: rarity, condition, and market demand. A coin that is extremely rare but heavily damaged might not sell for much, while a more common coin in stunning condition can bring huge money. Coins graded by major services like PCGS or NGC often sell for higher prices because grading gives buyers confidence. High-grade coins with the best eye appeal can break price records during competitive bidding wars. Every collector, beginner or advanced, should stay informed about current market values. Prices change. Trends shift. New discoveries appear. A coin that was not worth much a few years ago can suddenly become valuable when collectors realize its importance. That is why channels like Coins help you stay updated and aware of opportunities. The market is alive, constantly moving, and full of mysteries waiting to be found. Today, rare Lincoln pennies remain one of the most popular collectibles in America and around the world. Their history, beauty, and investment potential make them timeless treasures. Whether it is an early wheat cent, a modern shield cent with a dramatic error, or a legendary variety worth hundreds of thousands, each coin has a story. Each coin carries a piece of the past. Each coin holds the possibility of life-changing value. So keep checking your pennies. Keep learning. Keep searching. You never know when the next rare treasure will appear in your hand. And remember, every great discovery starts with curiosity, patience, and the knowledge you gain right here on Coins. Stay tuned because more amazing coin stories, market updates, rare discoveries, and unbelievable prices are coming your way. Today we enter the world of the rare Lincoln penny, a world where a simple 1-cent coin can reach values that shock collectors and surprise everyday people. Many think pennies are worthless, but collectors know that some Lincoln cents, especially rare errors and special mint strikes, can be worth hundreds, thousands, and sometimes even more. Today we explore the story, history, and current market value of one of the most talked about modern coins, the 2021 Lincoln penny, and how rare conditions and unusual mint varieties have turned ordinary pocket change into treasure. The Lincoln penny has a long history stretching back more than a century, first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln on the 100th anniversary of his birth. Over the years the design has changed, the composition has shifted, and the minting process has evolved, but the fascination has continued. Collectors search old rolls, banks, drawers, and family coin jars hoping to find one special cent that stands out from the rest. Some of the rarest pennies in history were found accidentally by normal people, and that is what keeps the excitement alive. The 2021 Lincoln penny seems like an ordinary coin at first glance. Billions were produced at the Denver Mint, and every day millions pass through hands unnoticed. But not all are the same. Certain examples from this year have unusual features, minting errors, die cracks, doubling, off-center strikes, and other rare characteristics that push their value far beyond their face value. In the current collector market, certain premium examples are being tracked, studied, and sold, sometimes rising to unexpected highs. Some exceptionally rare versions have been rumored and discussed among collectors with speculative values climbing, and numbers like $787.97649 show up in collector conversations and market predictions. To understand why a coin from 2021 could rise so high, we have to understand the coin market itself. Collecting today is global. Online auctions, grading services, and large coin shows create a huge demand for coins that stand out. If a coin has a dramatic error, if it exists in extremely high grade, or if there are very few examples, collectors compete fiercely to add it to their collection. A coin might cost nothing to mint, it might have a face value of 1 cent, but if it is rare, the market decides its true value. A tiny defect during minting can transform an ordinary penny into a high-value item that attracts attention worldwide. The 2021 Lincoln penny has drawn collectors because of unusual die varieties seen during this period. Some coins show sharp doubling on the date or letters. Others show subtle design shifts. Some have die cracks running across Lincoln's portrait or over the shield on the reverse. Small marks or imperfections caused by worn dies create varieties that collectors chase. Error coins like these usually exist only for a short moment before the mint fixes the dies, which means only a few survive. And the fewer that exist, the higher the price goes. The modern coin market loves discovery. When a new error or variety is found, the news spreads quickly. Online forums, auction listings, and collectors groups begin discussing possible values. Prices can jump as more people search for the same rare variety. Some collectors even pay premium prices for ungraded coins if the error is dramatic enough. Grading companies also play a major role. When a rare coin receives a high grade, especially MS67 or above, the value rises dramatically. A high-grade error penny from 2021 could bring incredible amounts because collectors always want the best possible example. The history of the Lincoln cent is full of valuable surprises. The 1909 SVDB, the 1914 D, the 1955 double die, the 1972 double die, and many more have shocked collectors for decades. Each new generation discovers their own rare cents hidden among everyday coins. Today the 2021 D is part of that legacy, a modern chapter in a long and fascinating story. What makes the Lincoln penny so special is that it remains in circulation. Anyone, anywhere, can find one. A rare coin might be sitting in a pocket, purse, drawer, or coin jar right now, collectors today keep a close eye on the 2021D because modern errors often go under the radar at first. With billions minted, it takes time for patterns to appear, for collectors to notice unusual examples, and for the market to evaluate them. Once a specific variety becomes known, the competition begins. People rush to check their coins, and the market price starts rising. The number $787.97649 may sound unusual, but modern coin markets have seen stranger price swings. When demand is high and supply is low, collectors decide what they are willing to pay. Many rare pennies today are worth a lot because collectors value both history and condition. A coin preserved in perfect shape looks almost untouched by time, a small piece of history captured forever. High-grade coins represent extremely rare survival conditions. Most pennies get scratched, worn, and damaged through normal use. That is why a high-grade modern penny can still reach high prices. When a 2021D penny combines high grade with a rare error, collectors see it as a premium investment. The modern market rewards uniqueness, and this is where value grows. The story of rare Lincoln coins reminds us that treasure is sometimes hidden in the simplest places. People have found rare pennies in bank rolls, in store change, on the street, or mixed with old childhood coins. Some have sold coins they discovered for thousands of dollars. That moment of excitement drives collectors to keep searching. The 2021D penny, with its potential rare varieties and growing market interest, has become a modern target for those hoping to uncover something special. Collectors today are more informed than ever. Videos, forums, guides, and communities help spread knowledge quickly. When someone finds something unusual, the whole community pays attention. The search for rare 2021D pennies has become part of this global activity. New discoveries continue to appear, and each discovery adds to the mystery and excitement. The possibility of a high-value example keeps collectors motivated. As we continue exploring rare coins on coins, we remind every viewer that sometimes even the smallest coin can have the biggest story. A 1-cent coin can be worth hundreds or even more if it carries the right marks, the right rarity, or the right condition. The modern market is unpredictable, and rare examples from 2021D offer a fascinating glimpse into how modern coins can suddenly gain extraordinary value. If you have 2021D pennies, check them closely. Look for doubling, cracks, misalignment, unusual shapes, and anything that looks different from a normal penny. You never know what you might find. And in the world of collecting, discovery is everything. The value of a coin is not the number printed on it, but the story behind it, the rarity it holds, and the demand it creates among collectors. Thank you for watching Coins, where we explore the past, present, and future of the most fascinating pieces of metal in your pocket. Keep checking your change, keep learning, keep exploring, and who knows? Your next penny might be the one that changes everything.